you have everybody saying, hey, let's stay calm. That's what the World Health Organization said back in the spring when this broke out. And then they said, let's stay calm, when the head of Doctors Without Borders, as the Washington Post reported this morning, went to him in late July and said, this is a crisis. They said, you're panicking. You're panicking. As Kent Brantley said, a guy who knows something about this because he had it, he said, this is a fire from hell, and if you think that the Atlantic Ocean is going to stop it from coming over here, you're kidding yourself.
But David, you're the committee. I don't want to disagree with Dr. Scarborough, but
no,
I have some faith. I understand. But these are public health professionals of world-class standing. They have no motivation to mislead the American people. They've dealt with many epidemics before, many health issues before. I don't think there's a reason to believe that they're not doing what needs to be done.
I'll be really honest with you. This is a serious issue. I'm quoting people that have Ebola, that have spent time in West Africa.
When people like you and people like us go on television and say this is far worse than they're saying, this is a reason to get. This is a reason to be.
Okay, guys.
You're hearing
then people respond to
it, David. What I was saying is we have to ask tough questions. We do have to ask tough questions, even though David doesn't want tough questions ever to be asked. He just wants to say snotty little things.
David's my friend.
So David,
I don't know how you got through all those years in politics being so sensitive.
Well, you know what? I expect cheap shots from people in politics. I just don't expect.
It's not a cheap shot.
I just don't expect cheap shots from my friends.
No.
That's my biggest problem. No, David, don't. I've got to ask you a question before you start talking. Okay? We just had the head of the CDC. David, I got to ask a question. We got the head of the CDC on. Yes, I asked him why this is a problem. He said it's a problem because officials didn't act on it fast enough. The World Health Organization missed every red light. We have to ask tough questions. I was quoting a Washington Post article yesterday, and you come back with a snide remark. Maybe you should read that article and take the screw-ups by the WHO seriously.
Well, I read the article. I take them seriously. I understand that the world was slow in response. The question on the table is, should the American people be panicked?
No, they shouldn't.
Panicked.
We agree with that.
That's fine, but look, I watched, because I'm an inveterate watcher of Morning Joe. I watched you on Friday. You said they weren't being straightforward about how you can contract this. You said people are told not to panic, but the CDC isn't being straight. Now, the fact is that these guys have nothing to do, they have no other mission in life but to keep people safe. I think Tom Frieden is a straight-up professional, an excellent public health official. Tony Fauci got the Medal of Freedom.
They're great. I agree with you.
From the Bush administration.
Totally agree with you.
I think they're just trying to solve this problem.
I totally agree with you.
And I don't want people to panic. And I don't think we should help. I don't think we should provoke them to panic either. That's different than asking tough questions.
Let me bring in Matt Lewis. Matt, you know what? Every time you ask a tough question, people like David Axelrod says you're trying to make Americans panic, when actually what we're trying to do is ask tough questions about how did the WHO screw this up? Why is it the Dr. Kent Brantley, that treated Ebola patients, still doesn't know how he got Ebola? It's okay for the CDC, it's okay for the WHO to say, this is something a little bit different. We really don't have all the answers right now, but let's work together. It's just like if you ask a tough question, suddenly you're trying to make the world panic.
And I think the problem is that this has to go in context, right? It's not just Ebola. It's a whole slew of issues that we've been told don't worry about. And I actually have a question for David, which is, whether it's ISIS being called the JV, whether it's the IRS scandal being dismissed as a phony scandal, it seems like the Obama administration has had made a strategic decision to sort of go with insouciance, right? No drama Obama. Whatever crisis is facing them, the first instinct is to downplay it, to dismiss it as not a big deal. I worry that there's a boy who cried wolf phenomenon taking place right now, where people frankly have quit believing them.
Well, I don't think there's a boy who cried wolf phenomena going on right now, Matt. The United States is leading the effort, the global effort on the Ebola problem. We've got 3,000 troops there with maybe more on the way. We've got 120 CDC people there. We're leading the effort. We helped Nigeria stop Ebola in its tracks by bringing the right public health techniques.
So let me
I don't think there's a boy who cried wolf. The question, Joe, you're shifting the goal. goalposts.
No, I'm not.
The question is not, you said on the air that people shouldn't trust the CDC when they tell you how you can get Ebola, and the CDC is trying to calm the American people and make them understand how Ebola is contracted. That's quite different than asking tough questions. Those are objective facts, and if you ask Ken Brantley, he would probably say the same thing.
No, first of all, Ken Brantley still doesn't know how he got Ebola. Secondly, I've said this morning that CDC is doing a great job. The question is, though, if all you're going to do is run around and say, oh, not much to see here, not much to do about anything.
That's more what I was getting at.
And I've got to say,
nobody is saying that.
That's all you guys always say.
Words in my mouth, Joe.
David,
don't put words in my mouth.
You have been telling me that for 5, 6, 7 years. Every time a problem comes up, you go, oh, come on, Joe. There's nothing to worry about here.
Joe,
this isn't about politics. This is about public safety. And Matt Lewis on that front, then I'll give David the last word. I count on you being the reasonable conservative. Right now, a lot of right-wingers are saying, why are we in Africa? Why do we have troops over there? Why are we engaged? This is not our problem. Do you agree with me? This is our problem, and we need to aggressively do what we can as a nation to lead, as David Axelrod is saying?
Absolutely. Look, I think we're all united on that. I'm just saying, when it comes to leadership, I think it's very important that we take things seriously because we need the public to buy in and believe us. But in the case of Ebola, absolutely, I'm with you on that.
David, I'm going to give you a chance to attack me viciously at the top of the hour with more cheap shots when we return. We're out of time, but I will actually, seriously, my friend, give you a chance to call me doctor again. Thank you guys so much. Matt, thank you. We'll see you later. We appreciate it. David, we'll see you in just a minute.